Hello, Zuko here, and it is finally time for another bookshelf tour. These videos take forever. You're gonna see how I have a bunch of books just piled everywhere. If you can hear my dog walking down the stairs, he's doing his best. It's not his fault, he's so small. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what my bookshelf looks like, minus all of these knickknacks and stuff. If you want to see a, what's on my bookshelf, knickknacks and pictures and stuff tour thing, let me know, and I will film it. So yeah, let's go. Okay, starting from the first shelf, Autumn, Autumn the City, Autumn Purification, Autumn Disintegration, and Autumn Aftermath, all by David Moody. Hater, Dog Blood, and Them or Us, also by David Moody. Rot and Ruin, Dust and Decay, Flesh and Bone, Fire and Ash, and Bits and Pieces, all by Jonathan Mayberry. Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion, and currently sitting in a pile on the bottom of my shelf, The New Hunger, a Warm Bodies novella by Isaac Marion, and The Burning World, a Warm Bodies novel, also by Isaac Marion. Dark Inside and Rage Within, both by Gene Roberts. Rise Again by Ben Tripp, The Infects by Sean Bodian. Dead Inside, Do Not Enter, Notes from the Zombie Apocalypse, a Lost Zombie book, which is super glary. The Enemy, The Dead, The Fear, The Sacrifice, which is signed, The Fallen, The Hunted, which is also signed, and The End, which is also signed, all by Charlie Higson. And my original paperback copy of The Enemy, which has seen better days. Escape from Furnace, Lockdown, Solitary, Death Sentence, Fugitives, and Execution, all by Alexander Gordon Smith. I Hunt Killers, Game, and Blood of My Blood, all by Barry Lyga. Crash and Burn by Michael Hassan, Chasing Forgiveness by Neil Shusterman, Scythe and Thunderhead, both by Neil Shusterman. Okay, this is my Neil Shusterman shelf. And this is Unwind, Unholy, which I just noticed says Book 2 in the Unwind trilogy, Unsold, Book 3 in the Unwind distology, Undivided, and Unbound, all by Neil Shusterman, Everlost, Everwild, and Everfound, all books from the Skinjacker trilogy by Neil Shusterman, Scorpion Shards, Thief of Souls, and Shattered Sky, all part of the Star Shards Chronicles by Neil Shusterman, and Violent Ends, a novel in 17 points of view by, I believe, 17 different authors, including Neil Shusterman. L. Frank Baum, 15 books in one, the original Oz series, which includes The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The Marvelous Land of Oz, Ozma of Oz, Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz, The Road to Oz, The Emerald City of Oz, The Patchwork Girl of Oz, Little Wizard's Stories of Oz, Tick-Tock of Oz, The Scarecrow of Oz, Rinky-Tink in Oz, The Lost Princess of Oz, The Tin Woodman of Oz, The Magic of Oz, and Glinda of Oz. Roald Dahl's The Complete Adventures of Charlie and Mr. Willy Wonka. The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, including The Magician's Nephew. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Horse and His Boy. Prince Caspian. Voyage of the Dawn Treader. The Silver Chair. And The Last Battle. The Hobbit. The Fellowship of the Ring. The Two Towers, and The Return of the King, all by J.R.R. Tolkien. A Wrinkle in Time, A Wind in the Door, A Swiftly Tilting Planet, Many Waters, and Unacceptable Time, all by Madeline L'Engle. Howl's Moving Castle, House of Many Ways, and Castle in the Air, all by Diane Wayne Jones. I know these ones are in the wrong publication order, but I ordered them timeline-wise, and this is Down Among the Sticks and Bone, Every Heart a Doorway, and Beneath the Sugar Sky, all by Shauna Maguire. Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. The Last of the Really Great Wang Doodles by Julie Andrews Edwards. As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales from the Making of the Princess Bride by Carrie Ells. The Princess Bride by William Goldman. American Gods by Neil Gaiman. The Sleeper and the Spindle by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Chris Riddle. Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. And this freaking beautiful copy of Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. The Art of Asking by Amanda Palmer, which is signed. You're Never Weird on the Internet Almost by Felicia Day. Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. Yes Please by Amy Poehler, which is signed. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory by Caitlin Doty. This book doesn't fit on the shelf, but if it did, it would be right here, and it is From Here to Eternity, also by Caitlin Doty. The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire by Dan Howell and Phil Lester. Grace's Guide, The Art of Pretending to be a Grown-Up by Grace Helbig. Grace and Style, The Art of Pretending You Have It, also by Grace Helbig. Binge by Tyler Oakley. Buffering, Unshared Tales of a Life Fully Loaded by Hannah Hart. So Much I Want to Tell You, Letters to My Little Sister by Anna Akana. Feel Good 101 by Emma Blackery. Secrets for the Mad by Dodie Clark. An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. Paper Towns by John Green, which is signed. Looking for Alaska by John Green. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which is signed. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Both the paperback and the hardback edition of Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. And the hardback is signed. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Another not on the shelf but would be if it fit book is This Monstrous Thing, also by Mackenzie Lee. The Love Interest by Caleb Dietrich. Away We Go by Emil Ostrovsky. History Is All That You Left Me by Adam Silvera. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera should be beside it. Then Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. The Upside of Unrequited, also by Becky Albertalli. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Allaire Senez. The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. Forgive Me Leonard Peacock, a novel by Matthew Quick. A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. A World Without You by Beth Revis. And The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The Serial Killer Whisperer by Pete Early. Ripper by Stefan Petruccia. The Hollow City by Dan Wells. I Am Not a Serial Killer. Mr. Monster. And I Don't Want to Kill You, also all by Dan Wells. Shade's Children by Garth Nix. Crusher by Niall Leonard. The 11th Plague by Jeff Hirsch. Those That Wake. And What We've Become, both by Jesse Karp. Monument 14. Sky on Fire. And Savage Drift, all by Emmy Laybourne. In the End. And In the After, both by Demetria Lunetta. Ashes. Shadows. And Monsters, all by Ilsa J. Bick. The Walled City by Ryan Groden. No Safety in Numbers. No Easy Way Out. And No Dawn Without Darkness, all by Dana Lawrence. Quarantine the Loners. The Saints. And The Burnouts, all by Lex Thomas. Down here on the bottom shelf of the first shelf is just my Nintendo DS games and Harry Potter and the Cursed Child and some duplicate books, as well as my weird old copy of Alice in Wonderland that smells like gross basement and has mysterious stains on it. On to shelf 2 there is A Series of Unfortunate Events, The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, The Wide Window, The Miserable Mill, The Oster Academy, The Airsats Elevator, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, and The End, all by Lemony Snicket, aka Daniel Handler, I believe. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City, Library of Souls, and Tales of the Peculiar, all by Ransom Riggs, Asylum, Catacomb, Sanctum, Escape from Asylum, and The Asylum Novellas, all by Madeline Brew, Illuminae, and Gemina, both by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, Vengeance Road, and Retribution Rails, both by Aaron Bowman, Proxy, and Guardian, both by Alex London, After Alice by Gregory Maguire, The Looking Glass Wars, Seeing Red, and Arch Enemy, all by Frank Bedore. The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily Lily Blue, and The Raven King, all by Maggie Stiefvater, Son of a Trickster by Eden Robinson, Half Bad, Half Wild, and Half Lost, all by Sally Green, Zeros, and Swarm, both by Scott Westerfield, Margot Lanigan, and Deborah Banicotti, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising, all part of the Grisha trilogy by Lee Bardugo, Six of Crows, and Crooked Kingdom, both by Lee Bardugo as well, The Language of Thorns, Midnight Tales and Dangerous Magic by Lee Bardugo, A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light, all by V.E. Schwab, and This Savage Song, and Our Dark Duet, both by Victoria Schwab as well. I also have a couple of books that are in a pile, but probably would have been on this shelf had they fit. So there's The Rook by Daniel O'Malley, Red Rising, Golden Sun, and Morning Star, all by Pierce Brown, Sleeping Giants by Sylvian Nouvelle, The Bone Season, and The Mime Order, both by Samantha Shannon. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, all by Suzanne Collins, 4, Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant, all by Veronica Roth, The Fifth Wave, The Infinite Sea, and The Last Star, all by Rick Yancey, I Am Number 4, The Power of 6, The Rise of 9, The Fall of 5, The Revenge of 7, The Fate of 10, and United as One, all by Pittacus Lore, which I believe is a pen name for 2 other people, but I don't know who they are. The Rule of 3, Will to Survive, and Fight for Power, all by Eric Walters. The Kill Order, The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, and The Death Cure, all by James Dashner. Artemis Fowl and the Arctic Incident, Artemis Fowl and the Eternity Code, Artemis Fowl, The Opal Deception, Artemis Fowl, The Lost Colony, Artemis Fowl, The Time Paradox, Artemis Fowl and the Atlantic Complex, Artemis Fowl, The Last Guardian, The Artemis Fowl Files, and Artemis Fowl, The Seventh Dwarf, all by Owen Colfer. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, 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 Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Tales of Beetle and the Bard, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, again, but it's too big to sit on the shelf. The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, The Last Olympian, Percy Jackson the Ultimate Guide, The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, The House of Hades, The Blood of Olympus, Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer, The Hammer of Thor, which is signed, and The Ship of the Dead, and The Trials of Apollo, The Hidden Oracle, and The Dark Prophecy, all by Rick Riordan. Gone, Hunger, Plague, Lies, Fear, and Light, all by Michael Grant. The Alchemist, The Magician, The Sorceress, The Warlock, The Necromancer, and The Enchantress, all part of The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel, all by Michael Scott. Inkheart, Ink Spell, and Ink Death, all by Cornelia Funk. Dreadnought by April Daniels. Zodiac and Wandering Star, both by Rowena Russell. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and Monsters of Men, all also by Patrick Ness. The bottom of this shelf has many copies of Artemis Fowl in it, Hyperbole and a Half, some Naruto, some Tokyo Mew Mew, a lot of Tokyo Mew Mew, some... I would do a tour of my tiny manga collection if anybody wanted it. Also, there's my piggy bank and my Pokemon cards. On to the final shelf, we have Marked, Betrayed, Chosen, Untamed, Hunted, Tempted, Burned, Awakened, Destined, Hidden, Revealed, and Redeemed, all part of the House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cast. I have no idea if those were in the right order. Along with those, I have Lenobia's Vow, Kelowna's Fall, Nefret's Curse, and Dragon's Oath, all companion novellas to the House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cast as well. Also, this fake MasterCard just fell out of my bookshelf and I have no idea where it came from. Then I have 8th grade Bites, 9th grade Slays. What does 10th grade do? 10th grade Bleeds, 11th grade Burns, and 12th grade Kills, all in the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd series, which I should probably try to read this year so I can hopefully get it off my shelf. All by Heather Brewer. Zombie, Zombie Underground, Zombie City, Zombie Angels, and Zombie Baby, all by Darren Shawn. The Vampire's Assistant, Tunnels of Blood, Vampire Mountain, Trials of Death, The Vampire Prince, Hunters of the Dusk, Allies of the Night, Killers of the Dawn, Lake of Souls, Lord of the Shadows, and Sons of Destiny, all from the Cirque du Freak series by Darren Shawn as well. Wicked Witch and Curse, Wicked Legacy and Spellbound, and Wicked Resurrection by Nancy Holder and Debbie Vigui? I don't know. Night World, Daughters of Darkness, Spellbinder, Dark Angel, The Chosen, Soulmate, Huntress, Black Dawn, and Witchlight, all part of the Night World series by L.J. Smith. The Twilight 10th Anniversary Edition that included the gender-swapped Life and Death. This little book that says this is not a trashy vampire romance novel, but that is in fact Twilight. New Moon, Eclipse, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, Breaking Dawn, and the Twilight Saga, The Official Illustrated Guide. I believe all by Stephanie Myers, though this one might not be. Suck It Up by Brian Meal, The Fifth House of the Heart by Ben Tripp, The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, also by Holly Black, Welcome to Border Town, New Stories and Poems of the Borderlands by Cassandra Clare, Charles DeLint, Cory Doctorow, Neil Gaiman, Annette Curtis Klaus, Will Schulterly, Janny Lee Simner, Catherine M. Valente, and many more. The Silver Eyes by Scott Cawthorne and Kira Breed Risley. Slasher Girls and Monster Boys by Stefan Bachman, Kendar Blake, Jay Kristoff, Jonathan Mayberry, Carrie Rain, Nova Ren Suma, April Genevieve something, Lee Bardugo, A.G. Howard, Marie Liu, Danielle Page, Megan Shepard, McCormick Templeman, and Kat Winters. And The Bazaar of Bad Dreams by Stephen King. The 39 Clues Book 1, Maze of Bone by Rick Riordan. One False Note by Gordon Corman. The Sword Thief by Peter Larangis. Beyond the Grave by Jude Watson. The Black Circle by Patrick Carman. In Too Deep by Jude Watson. The Viper's Nest by Peter Larangis. The Emperor's Code by Gordon Corman. Storm Warning by Linda Sue Park. Into the Gauntlet by Margaret Peterson Haddix. And Vespers Rising by Rick Riordan, Peter Larangis, Gordon Corman, and Jude Watson. As well as The Cahills vs. Vespers, Book 1, The Medusa Plot by Gordon Corman. A King's Ransom by Jude Watson. And The Dead of Night by Peter Larangis. Nicholas St. North and the Battle of the Nightmare King by William Joyce and Laura Geringer. Easter Bunnymund and the Warrior Eggs at the Earth's Core by William Joyce, and Toothiana, Queen of the Tooth Fairy Armies by William Joyce. Furthermore by Tahara Mafi, The Search for Wandla, and The Battle for Wandla. I'm currently missing book 2, but it is on its way, all by Tony Didorlizzi. The Supernaturalists by Owen Colfer, The Gates, The Infernals, and The Creeps, all by John Conley, as well as The Book of Lost Things, also by John Conley, The Blackthorn Key by Kevin Sands, The Prince of Either Here Nor There by Sean Collin, and The Prince of Two Tribes, also by Sean Collin, Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords, Feast for Crows, and Dance with Dragons, all by George R.R. Martin, and I have no idea if that is the order they're supposed to be in. Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, The Demon King, The Exiled Queen, The Grey Wolf Throne, and The Crimson Crown, all by Cinda Williams-Chema. Quinn's Christmas Wish by Lana Mackey, Tweak, Growing Up on Methamphetamines by Nick Sheff, We All Fall Down, Living with Addiction by Nick Sheff, Cracked by K.M. Walton, The Red Necklace and the Silver Blade by Sally Gardner, Ancestor by Scott Siegler, Night Film by Marisha Pessel, The School for Dangerous Girls by Elliot Schreifer, We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver, Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk, The Deadly Sister by Elliot Schreifer, Lexicon by Max Barry, Grasshopper Jungle by Andrew Smith, The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, The Church of Marvels by Leslie Perry, When God Was a Rabbit by Sarah Winman, The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North, Distant Waves by Suzanne Wen, The Gospel of Loki by Joanne M. Harris, The Nest by Kenneth Opel, Airborne by Kenneth Opel, Which Assigned to Me, The Bone Gap by Laura Ruby, The Girl Who Was Saturday Night by Heather O'Neill, The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and then the books that just don't fit on the shelf, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, News from the Dead by Mary Hooper, Learning to Swear in America by Katie Kennedy, Tattoo Atlas by Tim Florine, Liars Inc. by Paula Stokes, Vasa in the Night by Sarah Porter, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton, Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Touchlock, and lastly, Somebody Up There Hates You by Hollis Simon. And lastly, the very bottom shelf is just all of my console games. Woo! So yeah, that was my bookshelf tour for 2018. I'm still not a fan of how I named these because I think that I should have done it at the end of last year for 2017. I should do this one at the end of this year for 2018 because if it's the beginning of 2018, this isn't what my shelves are going to look like for the majority of the year. But, you know, that's how I started it, so that's how we're going to continue it. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you appreciate all the effort that goes into these videos, and I will see you whenever I do my next video.